מזמור לדוד. אדוני רואי לא אחסר, בנוטש ירביצני, עמי מנוחות ינהלני, נפשי ישובב ינחני, במעגלי צדק למען שמו. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא אירא רע, כי אתה עמדי, שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי, דשנת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. O Lord, what are we that that you should regard us? We are like a breath. Our days are like a passing shadow. They are like a dream, like grass which is renewed in the morning. In the morning it flourishes, in the evening it fades and withers. The years of our life are few. Their pride is but toil. They are soon gone and we fly away. So teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. Guard the innocent and behold the upright, for there is posterity for the person of peace. Surely God will redeem my soul. The Lord redeems the soul of his servants. None of those who take refuge in God will be condemned. The dust returns to the earth as it was, but the spirit returns to God who gave it. It's with sadness that we're all gathered here today to bid farewell to Belle Grubert. Just on a personal note, I've known Belle and her family for over 50 years. We have many fond memories from the Talmud Torah synagogue in the North End. And just yesterday I learned that Belle had a very special kinship with my father and family. Our family arrived as immigrants to Canada, and the Grubert family helped us greatly as we adjusted in our new lives in Winnipeg. Judaism is a religion of fighters. The first Jew, Abraham, led a remarkable life. He defied the odds. He left his home, his country, and traveled to a new land. And when he arrived to that land, he was met with famine. His wife was taken from him on 2 occasions. He fought mighty kings to free his nephew Lot. The rabbis even tell us that he survived the fiery furnaces of his arch enemy, Nimrod. Some would call Abraham a survivor, but I prefer to call him a fighter. Belle was much the same. She too survived the fiery furnaces of Europe during the Second World War. When the Germans invaded her city of Kiev, she developed typhus fever. She was there along with her mother and siblings. Her life almost came to an end. But like the fighter that she was, she beat the fever. Amidst the bombings and a war around her, she beat the odds. After the war, she fled with her mother and ended up in a refugee camp in Poland. There they found out the atrocities of the Germans. She survived illness, bombings, war, trauma. It was in the camp that they made the decision to come to Canada. And that move was facilitated by her father's 2 sisters who fled Europe to Canada before the war. She was a young girl of 11 years old. And even at a young age, she helped care for her family. She became like a mother to her younger brother, Sam. In Canada, she rebuilt her life. That's what fighters do. Despite everything she had experienced, she picked up the pieces. She was a stranger in a strange land, but she quickly mastered the English language, and she went to work, and then she became a model. She was always so very elegant, carrying herself with great dignity. She married Oscar, a lawyer at that time, and together they brought into the world their 2 precious children, Nolan and Beth. She was the ultimate Jewish mother. Her main concern was always the well-being of her children. And in fact, throughout her life, she always thought of others before she thought of herself. Even when she received her cancer diagnosis, her first comments to the doctor was concern for her daughter Beth. She loved her grandchildren, Julia, Micah, Madeline, and Marge. They all had a profound connection with their Baba. In fact, much of her adult life was devoted to them. She had an indelible influence on them. She taught them how to be tough and tender all in one. And she taught them how to put others first. As Julia put it, she was all of hard, soft, funny, proud, generous, loving, and incredibly tough. Those who knew Belle described her with the following words: formidable, fiery, iconic, legendary, take charge person. And yet they also described her with elegant, wise, humble, loving, and always caring. Yes, even in her strength and toughness, she was always thoughtful and kind. Every Yom Tov she would cook, but not just for her family, but for others. And she would send her children to deliver Yom Tov meals to other households. In the year 2009 in Toronto, she had a serious stroke. The odds of survival were minimal, but the fighter never gives up. She walked out of the hospital and returned to Winnipeg. Her son Nolan and daughter Beth cared for her in the most exemplary fashion. They performed the mitzvah of Kibud Av Va'em, honor your parents, to the fullest. She lived another 11 years that were nothing short of a miracle. To Belle Grubert, the world was her classroom. Life was her training ground. Hardship only made her stronger, and she took everything that life threw her way and became a better person from its lessons. Hardship had taught her that every moment we have is precious. Today we honor her remarkable life. Belle is survived by her brother Sam, her son Nolan and her daughter Beth, and by her grandchildren Julia, Micah, Madeline, and Marge. May her memory be blessed. Tiyeh nishmata tzrura b'tzror hachayim. May her soul be bound in the everlasting bond of life, and may we say Amen. El malei rachamim, shochen bamromim, hamtzei menucha nechona tachat kanfei ashchina b'malot kedoshim uteorim kezor harakia mazhirim et nishmat Belle bat Yisrael v'Sara she'alcha le'olama bavur she'anu mitpalelim ba'ad askarat nishmata began Eden tehe menuchata lachen Bal harachamim Yastira besetek knafav lolamim Vitzror achayim et nishmata Adonai hu nachalata V'tanuach beshalom al mishkava V'nomar amen. God full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant perfect rest and peace beneath the sheltering wings of your divine presence to the soul of Belle, the daughter of Yisrael and Sarah, who has gone to her eternal resting place. We will give charity and offer prayers in memory of her soul. May her soul be in paradise. Master of mercy, protect her forever. Bring her under the sheltering of your wings. Let her soul be bound up in the eternal bond of life. May the Lord be her possession, and may she rest peacefully, and let us say, Amen. We're now going to fill in the grave, and it's going to be hard for all of us to do that. Nevertheless, the Talmud records in the name of one of the great rabbis, and he said, those who loved me and those who took care of me during my life should be the ones who care for me in my death. The final act, the last act that we can do for a person that we loved is to fill the grave. It's called Chesed Shel Emet. It is kindness, which is real kindness, because we get nothing in return. And this is really considered to be a great, great mitzvah. So we're going to try to do the best that we can to just throw a little bit of the earth into the grave, and then afterwards the grave will be filled in. The rest of the grave will be filled in. Please.